Hey, my name is Eleanor. I've known Tony since 2006. I met him in his writing workshop, and I had just moved to Boston for grad school, and workshop was this amazing place for an academic because you were watching people learn without being criticized. Uh, I remember it was almost like a revelation coming into that space. It was like, oh, so this is what community looks like. It was people with different identities and backgrounds who were coming together and really listening to each other through their creative work, building each other up in ways that were thoughtful and intentional. And that space is only possible because of how much thought Tony puts into it, how carefully he creates it, all the work he does to make sure that it's accessible and respectful. Um, it is a workshop about writing, and on the other hand, it's such a community space. There's this whole other level, and being in that space, I regularly have this feeling of, life is hard, and sometimes you don't know how you're going to face it. Um, but at the same time, we're doing it. We're living, we're facing it. We're all here and we're in it together. And that's really incredible. And that's what Right Here, Right Now makes possible. That's what Tony makes possible through Right Here, Right Now. Um, about a year and a half after I met Tony, I was going through some really hard personal times. And I had had experiences with therapists that were everything from unhelpful to horrible. And I really didn't know where I could find support. And that's when I really got to know Tony in his counseling role. Um, and getting to know other people in the community over the last several years, I've realized that so many of us have some version of this story. And it goes, when things were falling apart, Tony was there. And I don't know what I would have done if he hadn't been. Tony, for years, has worked early morning to night for this community. He advised a school project for me for one of my classes and spent months trudging through all kinds of course materials and my writings on them. He spent hours a week coaching that project during a time when I could pay hardly anything, and that made no difference in his commitment or his investment. The professor who I did that project for uh, ended up being one of my recommenders when I applied to do doctoral work. And I can honestly say that I don't know if I would have reached this point in my career, in my academic career, without Tony and without the help he's given me. Tony is so many things to me. He's friend, family, teacher, spiritual advisor. And I know that I am not alone in saying that I don't think I would be here and now in nearly the same way without Tony in my life.